I'm gonna take a far. People should be at. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My pleasure to announce the arrival of the head of Civil Service of the Federation. I like to say in our usual way, she makes sure she goes around greeting every one of us and welcoming us to our event. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome all of us now as I beg your indulgence to be upstanding as we take the national anthem. At the count of three,
our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign, in peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
and allow the man.
As civil servants,
Thank you very much, distinguished
arriving
ladies
late
and
for work.
gentlemen. You may be seated now. I'd like to sincerely thank you for your patience for us to finally commence this event at this hour. I'd like to have the honor at this point in time to, in a very special way, welcome the Mother General of the Civil Service of the Federation, recipients of many prestigious honors and awards, Mother of Skill, the digital revolutionist. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our hands together for the Head of Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemiso, CFR. I'd like to have the honor in a very special way. He kept to time, and indeed that catches my fancy. I'd like to have the honor to welcome the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, the man who has come here earlier and said, I will be here with you till the end of time. Our hands together for Senator Engineer. Our hands together for Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, sir. Trying to jump to the other person. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have our very transformative permanent secretaries who are here with us, gathered in their number to show solidarity to this epoch event. I'd like to begin by welcoming in a very special way the Permanent Secretary, Special Duties Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, hands together for Dr. Magdalene Ajani. I'd like to also in a very special way welcome the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Power, who is also with us, hands together for Malam Maman Mahmuda. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Also with us is the representative of Dr. Emmanuel Chukwemeka Meribole, Mr. Ahmed Ibrahim Issa. Thank you for joining us. Also with us here is the Permanent Secretary, Water Resources and Sanitation, hands together for Malam Ali Shinkafi Shehu. Let me also in a very special way welcome the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Health and Social Welfare, hands together for Ms. Daju Kachalom Shengita MNI. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us. Also, I'd like to have the honor of welcoming the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Finance, Special Duties, hands together for Mr. Udo Okokon Ekanen. And also with us is the Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, hands together for Mrs. Esebuna Nko Asaya. Also with us here is also the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment, hands together for Mala Mahmuda Adam Kambari. Thank you so much, sir, for your time with us. Let me also in a very special way welcome the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, hands together for Mr. Adeoye Adeleye Ayodeji. Thank you, sir, for your time with us. Also with us here is the Permanent Secretary, Common Services Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation, Mr. Machi Raymond Omeka. Thank you, sir, for your time with us. Let me in a very special way also welcome the Permanent Secretary, Service Policy and Strategies Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. Our hands together for Dr. Bako Deborah Ode. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will keep you abreast with the arrivals of other permanent secretaries who are here for this event. Let me also quickly recognize Royal Highnesses who are here with us in a very special way. I'd like to welcome Malam Rabiu Musa, brother of Dapa, who is here with us. Our hands together for you. Thank you for joining us for this event. I want to in a very special way welcome the Madaki of Zuba, representative of Agora of Zuba, hands together for Alhaji Salihu Dahiru. Thank you, Your Royal Highness, for joining us for this event. Let me also in a very special way welcome the Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank, who is here with us, who's a sponsor, making sure that this housing program goes well. Hands together for Alhaji Shehu Usman Osidi. Thank you very much, sir, for your time with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here for a very important assignment. As you know, Abraham Maslow said something very important in one of his theories. The basic needs of man is three particularly. And those needs, as you know, is just water, food, and house. And I tell you, if you don't have these basic needs, your life is meaningless. The head of service of the Federation has taught it wise that the staffs of the federal government must live in a befitting home. And today he has gathered us, and I'm sure at the appropriate time there will also be water and food. But for now, we are talking of house. He has gathered us to celebrate this very important thing. It's not just giving us a house, it's giving us a home. I'd like us to please jam our hands together for the head of service of the Federation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to in a very special way welcome and recognize one of the directors who is working hard to ensure that this event goes well. Dr. Comfort Adeoshu is the director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary Service Welfare Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. I tell you, she has done exceedingly well in her time to give the service. Please jam your hands together for this wonderful personality. May I also, at this point in time, welcome in a very special way this very wonderful personality since he took over Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board. it has been a testimony from the recipients of these housing needs. One of them said something very important, and let me read it out for you. As a first-time home buyer, I was very nervous about the process. Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board made it seamless from the beginning to the end and got us a great deal. If you are looking for a true professionals, go to Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board. This is according to Mary Oladipo. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I beg indulgence to now join me in welcoming the Executive Secretary, Federal Government Staff House Loan Board, Malam Ibrahim Abdul Meriga. Thank you very much. Before I bring the next speaker who will be having the honor of welcoming all of us to this event, I'd like to also... Are you sure? Are you happy with that? Can you get me there? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just pardon my oversight. A very good friend of mine, my permanent secretary, I'd like to have the honor at this point in time to welcome in a very special way the permanent secretary, Federal Ministry of Works, who is here with us. Our hands together for Dr. Adams Yakubu Kofamata. Thank you so much, sir. And please, pardon that oversight. Thank you. I know you will forgive me. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to now have the honor to bring to the microphone stand the warm, sweet personality who will be welcoming all of us. Okay, my attention has just been called to recognize very high prominent Royal Highness who is here with us. I beg your indulgence, sir, for this omission too. But let me quickly, in a very special way, welcome His Royal Highness, the Aguma of Gwagwalada, Alhaji Mohammed Magiji, Chairman Traditional Council, Chiefs of Gwagwalada Area Council. Thank you so much, Your Royal Highness, for your time with us. God bless you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now have the honor to bring the one personality who will be welcoming all of us. And I'm sure if you listen attentively to his presentations, you get more insight why we are here. She's a dogged fellow, a very adorable personality. My privilege and honor to bring him to the microphone stand. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome the Director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, Office of the Head of Service of the Federation. Please jam your hands together for Dr. Comfort Adeosu to give us the welcome address. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, sir. The Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Her Excellency, the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, our digital mommy, goal-getter, mentor, and role model. The transformative permanent secretaries here present, executive secretaries here present, and our esteemed dignitaries. We also want to welcome our partners, stakeholders, developers, who have graciously honored our invitation to be present at this event. It is a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to the commissioning of this fish project in Gwagwalada FCT, Abuja. First, I would like to give all the glory to God for the privilege of being alive to see today. We thank Him and give Him all the praise for enabling our exemplary leader, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, to start and complete this project in record time, specifically in 1 year and 5 months. It can only be God. Some of you here present may recall that we were here on January 19, 2023 for the groundbreaking ceremony of this same project. Only God could have made this possible. Indeed, God is the one who grants success, while we, His servants, as human beings, do the work. Without His grace, she wouldn't have been able to accomplish this. Nothing could have been made possible. So we acknowledge God for this. Secondly, I would like to welcome our head of Civil Service of the Federation for providing adequate support to all the team that made this happen. Also, we will welcome all our past permanent secretaries of the Service Welfare Office, particularly the permanent secretary now for information, Dr. Ngozi Owodiwe, and my exceptionary leader and permanent secretary, the current permanent secretary of the Ministry of Environment, Alhaji Mahmood Adam Kambari, for setting the pace for me to be able to continue the project after the inauguration. I wouldn't be able to say much without welcoming the Executive Secretary of the Federal Government Staff Loans Board. I don't know how to describe you, sir. I call you a leader, a brother, a friend. Thank you for all you do. We feel it and we appreciate you. The provision of affordable and quality housing facilities for civil servants is one of the core value propositions to improve the life of civil servants, especially when we have the goal under the Pillar 6 of the FCIF 2021 to 2025 to add value to civil servants' life. This is to ensure that no civil servant retires without a roof over their head. Today, the Fish Department, under the Service Welfare Office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, is working hard to ensure that more houses are provided for civil servants. And just digressing a little bit, while we were just arriving, we've had some discussion with our minister, with the loans board MD, and I can tell you there's good news again on the horizon. And I want us to just put our hands together for these two great personalities. They've already made a promise for us. This would help us to also, as an office of the head of the civil service, to fulfill and achieve our performance management objectives and also fulfill the performance bond that was signed with the Mr. President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. So we are not just here to open or commission a project, but we are also fulfilling part of the renewed hope of the federal government. Therefore, we want to say a big welcome to all of you. As alluded to in one of our training courses, we have said the provision of housing for civil servants is a great signpost that the employer cares for the employee. And that is what we can see that the head of civil service has done today. We rejoice with the beneficiaries of these beautiful homes. When you go inside, you understand what I mean by beautiful. Houses taking advantage of the opportunity provided by the head of the civil service of the Federation, ensuring that these houses are actually given and provided only for core MDAs. So the off-takers are not included in the non-core ministries. She gave the directive, and that was what we have achieved. So that we don't keep giving those who are any bigger salaries. And then those of us who are on this other side, we are not having houses. And that mandate has been fulfilled. On this note, I want to welcome you all to this event that will mark the end of a journey and open another one for us as the Fish Department seeks to continue to develop and also make more housing projects available to civil servants. Thank you all for gracing this occasion, and I want to say may God bless you all for coming. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I beg your indulgence one more time to jam your hands together for that wonderful tell-all speech. Thank you, ma'am. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly, before we move to the next item on the program, welcome this. Let me have the honor of welcoming this adorable, elegant goal-getter who just walked in while we're welcoming all of us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education is here with us. Hands together for Mrs. Esther Didi Watson-Jack, MNI. Thank you so much for your time with us, ma'am. Welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also in a very special way welcome the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals Resources, Steel Development. Hands together for Dr. Maria Ada Obe. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time with us. Let me also, in a very special way, welcome the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transportation, Marine and Blue Economy, who has been here earlier enough for me to do this. My apologies, sir. Hands together for Olorutola Olufemi Michael. Thank you so much, sir, for your time with us. In a very special way, also, I welcome His Excellency, Ambassador Abba Nuru Remi, Permanent Secretary, Industry, Trade and Investment. Thank you so much, sir, for your time with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if my people are ready now, we now have the video. Let us have time to relax and watch the video documentary on fish. And since we are talking of fish, quickly I recognize the Director of Fish, who is also here with us, hands together for Mrs. Kemi Yusuf. Thank you for the wonderful work you are doing for us. Now we can watch the documentaries. Thank you very much.
The Federal Integrated Staff Housing Fish Program of the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation is a strategic initiative to improve the welfare of public servants through the provision of quality and affordable houses. The program was designed to address the acute accommodation challenges confronting federal civil servants as a result of prevalent market prices of houses, which has made it prohibitively expensive for civil servants to acquire their own houses.
This opportunity is provided to the core civil servant to enable them own their house before they retire from service. The head of service stood our ground that the only beneficiary of this particular estate are the core civil servant.
In January 2023, the head of civil service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, announced construction of 116 housing units of two-bedroom semi-detached bungalows during the groundbreaking ceremony of the Fish Program Estate in Gwagwalada, Abuja. She described it as a watershed moment in accelerating the attainment of the government's agenda of ensuring the welfare of civil servants through the provision of affordable housing.
The Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program was conceptualized as a vehicle to address the housing deficit civil servants were faced with, consequence upon the implementation of the monetization policy, which led to the sale of federal government-owned residential quarters across the country.
The idea of the project was born by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation's Federal Integrated Staff Housing Fish Program in partnership with the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, FGS-HLB, under the leadership of the Executive Secretary Ibrahim Meiriga. The estate being commissioned today sits on a 5-hectare land mass and consists of 116 housing units of two-bedroom semi-detached bungalows. It is fully powered with a 500 kVA transformer and adequate electricity distribution lines. The drainage system is constructed in such a way as to evacuate wastewater in the shortest period of time, thereby eliminating issues of flooding, especially during the rainy season. The estate is also equipped with adequate water supply systems and a good internal road network. The buildings units in this affordable housing estate are properly constructed and well ventilated. The bedrooms are en suite with all the necessary lighting, water systems and electrical works. All the units are completely fitted with plaster of Paris, POP.
The process of actualizing this project is an initiative of Head of Civil Service of the Federation. It was through her effort that she secured the land through the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. They are the one that gave her the land for them to construct houses for the core civil servants. And she gave the land to the board, that is the Housing Loans Board, for us to look at, to find out a ways that we can be able to develop the land. So what we did, we engaged some private developers that about 5 of them that they developed, they constructed the houses. We shared the land for them into 5. They constructed the house. As they are constructing, we are paying them the money. That was how we were able to do the houses. And the infrastructures, it was also through her effort that she engaged other stakeholders like Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. They constructed the roads, the Ministry of Works, water resources. They provided the water inside, and the Ministry of Power. And they provided the transformer and the...
Fish Program Estate is fully funded by the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board and constructed in partnership with some real estate developers.
The management decided to approach developers, and after meeting with them, some of them agree. Some developers agree that they can personally fund the development of the fish estate. And of course, we decided to go into memorandum of understanding with them for a specific amount allocated to each and every one of them. We don't want a situation whereby they will freely develop the plan and it becomes difficult for off-takers to assess the building.
The success of this project wouldn't have been complete without an integrated strategy of interministerial collaboration. In this regard, the Federal Ministry of Works provided the land and general infrastructure, including the road network. The Federal Ministry of Power provided the electricity, while the Federal Ministry of Water Resources made provision for adequate water supply systems in the estate. This project is aimed to mitigate housing deficits among civil servants who were not able to get decent abode after the monetization policy. Therefore, the off-takers are drawn from federal civil and public servants.
Throughout the process, it was very seamless for us. We went online, we applied online, we put up all our documents online, and then we waited until it was approved. And when it was approved, we were asked to come and collect our letters so that we could process it. The program has come to fill a lot of gap for me because, getting a house in Abuja is really, really difficult. You always have the landlords to deal with. The landlords always want to increase their rent, and when they want to increase, they tell you that they want to, renovate. I'm very happy because I never knew that as a civil servant, I would get a housing loan under a year because we applied another a year. We got the loan and everything has been, very smooth. The application process was smooth, and also even getting the property was smooth.
First thing in Abuja, with any person in Abuja, is shelter. Because it's one of the things that give a lot of us a lot of stress, aside of living condition. Because you have been tinkering with how do you manage to pay the rent at the end of the day. And how do you manage to pay the school fees, which is coming concurrently? Mostly end of the year, mostly September's, which became a quagmire for all of us. So that portion has been tackled, has been addressed.
I feel excited. It's not easy to be a house owner in Abuja. You know what I'm talking about, the rent, you understand. And the cost of living now is a bit high. So I'm grateful to God Almighty that make it easy for me to be a house owner.
The Fish Estate Gwagwalada is an indication of a turning point in the attainment of the government's agenda of enhancing the welfare of civil servants through provision of quality and affordable housing.
This is the only way that prices of houses in Abuja can come down to the level of civil servants. Because if you look at it, most of the houses in Abuja, they are beyond the reach of civil servants.
Construction of the estate, which was done within a good record time of 1 year and a few months, is a testament of this administration's commitment towards improving the welfare and well-being of federal civil servants. This estate would no doubt provide comfort to civil servants as well as aid the transformation of the Gwagwalada landscape. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. For me, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation has keyed into Renewed Hope agenda. This is a renewed hope for the civil service that there is hope indeed that we'll all have a shelter someday working as a civil servant in the Federation of Nigeria. One more time, please, jam your hands together for the head of service of the Federation for this wonderful landmark. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to quickly announce to us that we have VIP toilets for all of us at this corner of our gathering. Please, if the need arises, make use of it. It's very convenient, I can assure you. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to that point where we have to get a goodwill messages from all of us who are here, but for want of time, we're just breaking it into just maybe few of us will be speaking to us for what has happened so far. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring to the microphone stand the man who has vigorously given support to this project. I'd like to have the honor to bring the Managing Director and Chief Executive of Federal Mortgage Bank, Malam Shehu Usman Osidi, to please come forward and give us his own goodwill message. Hands together for Malam as he makes his way down to the microphone stand. Thank you very much. It's important to hear from you if we have utilized the relationship. God bless you.
It's 11 o'clock.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Danjua, the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Mrs. Yemi Folashade Yemi Eson, CFR, the Federal Permanent Secretaries that are here present, Chief Executives of MDAs, His Royal Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I will be making a mistake if I don't recognize my brother and bosom friend, the Executive Secretary of the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board. I am delighted to stand before you today on this significant occasion of the commissioning of 116 housing units constructed under the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Fish Program here in Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT. This event marks a monumental step towards the ongoing commitment by critical stakeholders towards providing affordable and quality housing for our dedicated civil servants at both federal and state levels. Ladies and gentlemen, today's commissioning is a testament to what can be achieved when there is a synergy between the public and private sectors, supported by robust policies and determined execution. I understand that the land for this project was donated by the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, while all the infrastructures were delivered by various federal ministries with relevant responsibilities, including roads by the Ministry of Works, water by the Ministry of Water Resources, and electricity by the Ministry of Power. The Ministry of Environment is also expected to beautify the estate. Meanwhile, the houses were delivered by private developers, while the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board sponsored the acquisition of the houses by the beneficiaries. The successful completion of these housing units, therefore, represents the result of a collaborative effort and shared vision. This project is a beacon of hope and a model for future housing initiatives across the country. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria deeply commends this initiative. At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, we understand that housing is not just a basic need, but a cornerstone of stability and security for individuals and families. We also recognize that the implementation of the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program is a landmark achievement, not only for the civil servants who are direct beneficiaries, but for Nigerians as a whole. It is therefore a thing of joy for us at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to be associated with today's event and the FISH program as a whole. I have no doubt that this program will go a long way in continuing to ameliorate the housing needs of numerous civil servants desiring to have their own homes in Abuja and other places that the program is sure to extend to. In our own way at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, we are actively committed to seeing to the success of the FISH program through the provision of mortgage loans from the National Housing Fund Scheme. It is on record that the bank offered some of our completed estates for the takeoff of the program, particularly the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Estates 1 and 2 in Kuje, FCT. FMBN is therefore an active collaborator in this laudable program, and we assure you of our unwavering continued support for its success. I want to specially commend and congratulate the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Fola Shade Yebi Eson, CFR, and all other stakeholders involved in this project, including the developers, government agencies and officials, and every individual who have contributed in making this vision a reality. Your hard work and dedication has not only provided homes, but have also fostered a sense of community and belonging. To the new homeowners, I want to say congratulations. May these homes be filled with joy, peace, and prosperity. We at the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria are committed to continuing our efforts to provide sustainable housing solutions and to support you in every way possible. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, sir. And like you said, may your new home be filled with joy. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's also important that we listen to the landlords, the owners of the land where we are going to live. It's important they assure us that they are with us in spirit, physically and otherwise. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have the honor to bring to the microphone stand His Royal Highness Agora of Zuba, Alhaji Mohammed Bello, represented by Madaki of Zuba, Alhaji Salisu Dahiru, to please come forward for his own good will message. Hands together for him. Thank you very much, sir. Yes, it is important to hear from you. Yes, take the royal blessing and do us this honor. God bless you.
First and foremost, let me welcome each and every one of us here. This is a great occasion. The good message from the Agora of Zuba is that let me first and foremost congratulate the civil servants that own a house for themselves, and also to appreciate the head of service that initiated this following program. May Almighty Allah continue to guide Nigerian, continue to guide each and every one of us here. Also, let me say this award. Assuming if the other parastatals will emulate what the head of civil service did, I think every civil servant in Nigeria will have a peace of mind, will have a rest. The other life will be easier for each and every one of us in Nigeria. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much for those kind words of yours. But be assured that there is a reason why we call her the mother of service. She makes sure she provides for all of us. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's also important we listen to the developers. I know there are so many of them, but we'll just invite one of them to speak on behalf of others. Please join me to welcome to the microphone stand Engineer Yusuf Joseph to please speak on behalf of all the developers. Thank you very much, sir.
Good morning, ma, and good morning, sirs. I'm here to give a goodwill message on behalf of all the developers. The management of the Solutionist Nigeria Limited actually congratulates the head of civil service of the Federation Dr. Olashade Yemi Eson, CFR, on this auspicious occasion of the commissioning of Fish Estate, Gwagwalada. This represents a milestone in the actualization of the larger objective of providing houses for civil servants through the platform of Federal Integrated Staff Housing and Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board. It is an achievement that should be commended, considering government's drive through policies to solve housing deficits. As one of the developers engaged for the construction of houses in the estate, we are elated to be associated with this project, which will impact positively on as many families as will be accommodated in the estate. We wish the Office of the Head of Civil Service of Federation greater strides in expressing government's policy and desire to provide houses, not just for civil servants alone, but for all its teeming population. Long live Fish, long live Federal Government Housing Board, long live Head of Service, long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the developers. Be assured that there'll be more work for you. I'm sure that makes you happy. Thank you, and when you finish, you go and thank the head of service. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's important to also take a kind word from one of the recipients, so speak on behalf of all the recipients, because I heard them saying it was smoothless, seamless, and smooth. And so it's important we hear it physically here. Please, in a very special way, welcome to the microphone stand, Mr. Lawal Ismaila Babatunde, Principal Scientific Officer, Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, to please speak on behalf of all the recipients. Hands together for him as he makes his way to the microphone stand. Thank you.
Good morning, distinguished guests of honor. I'm standing on the existing protocol. My name is Lawal Ismaila Babatunde, Principal Scientific Officer, Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation. On behalf of the beneficiaries of the Fish Housing Estate, Gwagwalada, I wish to express my profound gratitude to the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation and the Federal Government Staff Housing Loan Board for giving us the rare opportunity as civil servants from the core ministries to become proud house owners in FCT Abuja. Indeed, we are grateful, for the opportunity and the rare privilege. It is important for me to state that the process leading to the allocation of this estate to us as beneficiaries was strictly done via online application, as we had no human contact whatsoever with whoever that is behind the process. And also done with strict adherence to merit as stated in the requirements prior to the application process. And for this reason, I want to commend our transformative Head of Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Eson, for using this housing scheme as another opportunity to underscore our commitment to digitalization and meritocracy as part of pillars of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025. We are grateful. I am alumni of the LITP program, and I have seen in demonstration all that was preached to us in the course of our training. We are grateful, ma. Thank you, ma. In conclusion, as grateful beneficiaries, we shall make prudent use of this opportunity and continue to be good ambassadors in upholding the values of work, hard work, commitment, loyalty, and productivity as civil servants. Thank you all, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much, Ismaila. Indeed, you are a great beneficiary from the service, being an alumnus and getting a house again. That's too much. But all the same, we thank God for your life and keep it up. Your hard work is taking you far. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, let us relax and cool off our nerves a little while we invite these good dancers from the Federal Capital Territory Cultural Troupe to entertain us. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise as we welcome. But at this point, they are still having their family meeting, so we can allow it. But quickly, we are going to relax with them. They are going to give us all manners of dance, cutting across all tribes, and that is why they are FCT Cultural Troupe. Are we ready? Are we ready? Tell me if you are ready. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I leave you in this good hand of this wonderful entertainers to keep us busy. God bless you. I'll be back shortly.
For Nigeria, make we join hand to make Nigeria better. I like Gamo, Gamo, I like Gamo, I like Gamo. Me, I like my country, I like the land and people. Everything is there for Nigeria. Make we join hand to make Nigeria better.
Thank you very much. Nigeria is well blessed. You can see the energy at which they are vibrating. These are our people, and I can assure you, anywhere in the world, you can be proud of Nigeria. Make some noise for this wonderful presentation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Quickly, we begin. We go straight to remarks, and it's important we listen to the Honorable Minister who is here with us. I'm sure he has good words for us, because the PAMSEC, Dr. Comfort Adeosho, has confirmed that to us. But ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to him now. Hands together as I bring to the microphone stand Honorable Minister of Housing, Urban Development. Hands together for Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa. God bless you, sir.
The head of civil service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Hassan, CFR, the permanent secretaries here present, the heads of agencies here present, the directors, the developers, our royal fathers here with us, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's my pleasure to join you all today for the commissioning of the Federal Integrated Housing Scheme project here in Gwagwalada. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to the head of civil service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Hassan, CFR, for inviting me to be part of this exciting occasion. I'm aware about 3 years ago, the Federal Minister of Housing and Urban Development, under my predecessor, allocated the 5 hectares of parcel of land free of charge to the head of service for the purpose of this project. The gesture was part of the broader vision to build homes for Nigerians, a vision that aligns perfectly with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda for housing and urban development. As you may be aware, the civil service is the engine of government and plays a vital role in national development. Our civil servants are the backbone of public administration. They drive the implementation of policies and programs that touch every aspect of our lives. It is therefore only fitting that prioritize the welfare, starting with providing them with decent and affordable housing. As a government, this federal integrated housing scheme is more than a collection of buildings. It demonstrates in practical terms how much we respect and appreciate the contributions of our civil servants by ensuring that they have a comfortable and secure homes, while not only enhancing their quality of life, but also boosting their productivity and morale, which in turn benefits the entire nation. FISH was established by the Office of the Head of Service to facilitate the affordable home ownership for the teeming federal staff while in service. I would therefore like to sincerely commend Dr. Folashade Yemi Hassan for her dedication and leadership in seeing this project through completion. I was privileged during construction of this estate to visit the estate as part of my routine visit to see that this project was ongoing and is in a very quality construction. I also want to recognize and commend the developers for their hard work and diligence in completing this project on time. As we officially open the doors to these new homes, let us remember that this is just one step in our broader mission to provide housing for all Nigerians. Earlier this year, Mr. President launched our National Renewed Hope Cities and Estates program, under which we plan to build 50,000 units under phase 1. We officially kicked the program off with the groundbreaking of 3,112 housing units in Karsana. Recently, we followed with the groundbreaking of Renewed Hope Estates in Katsina, Gombe, Yobe, Sokoto, and the Renewed Hope City in Kano. Next week, God willing, we'll be commencing the second leg of the groundbreaking in 8 other states, including Ebonyi, Abia, Akwa Ibom, Delta, Osun, Oyo, Benue, and Nasarawa states, where we are going to build 250 50 houses in each of these locations. All this is part of our efforts to fix the housing deficit, unlocking the potential of housing sector to contribute towards Mr. President's agenda to build a $1 trillion economy. The provision of housing is a big project that requires all hands to be on deck, and I'm happy that the head of service is pushing for civil servants, where it engaged other under ministerial collaboration, where the Ministry of Housing provided the land, Ministry of Works provided the infrastructure, and Ministry of Power provided the electricity, and Ministry of Water Resources provided the water supply. We'll push from our end too. What matters is that we must all continue to work collaboratively, leveraging the public and private sector partnership to expand our housing initiatives and ensure that every Nigerian has access to safe, affordable, and quality housing. Once again, I want to commend the head of civil service, congratulate the beneficiaries, and want all civil servants to follow that, to know that we value them. Well, I thank you. God bless the Federal of Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. My joy is that you are here in person and I can present my problem of house need to you directly. So please, before you go, I'll have a family meeting with you so we can sort it out. Thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one more time, our hands together for the Honorable Minister. Well-tailored delivering. God bless you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking the next remark from the Honorable Minister of Works. I understand he's not here, but I also know that his very able, capable permanent secretary is here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome to the microphone stand the permanent secretary, Federal Ministry of Works. Hands together for Yakubu Adams Kufamata, PhD. God bless you.
The head of service of the Federation, please permit me to read the remark of the Honorable Minister of Works. Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, my brother Architect Tangiwa, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Eson, CFR, Permanent Secretaries here present, Royal Fathers, gentlemen of the press, civil servants, and other invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me a great pleasure to be invited to this August occasion by the head of the Civil Service of the Federation. When my permanent secretary approached me with a request from the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation herself, I asked him, are you sure of PAMSEC? I want it to be on record that I asked that question because the head of service of the Federation has never, ever asked anything personal. And I was wondering whether it was true. And it should also be placed on record that when I learned it was an official invitation, I was honestly moved. I commend the head of the Civil Service of the Federation for the provision of affordable housing scheme to deserving civil servants. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, I would like to voice it out here that the Federal Ministry of Works will always be available at your call whenever it has to do with anything welfare of the civil servants of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. the head of service of the Federation has changed the dynamic of administration in the Federal Civil Service at all strata. Housing is very important to the survival of human beings as well as their performance in their workplaces. The head of service of the Federation and the civil servants have all contributed immensely to the success of the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, and we thank you all for that. It is my ardent prayer that the Almighty continue to bless the head of service of the Federation, the civil service of the Federation, and all here present. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much for those kind words from the Honorable Minister of Works. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I bring our sweet, delectable sweet mother, I'd like to quickly welcome and recognize the representatives of the Permanent Secretary Petroleum Resources, here represented by Mrs. Adaji. Thank you very much for joining us. And also with us, we have the representative of the Permanent Secretary Police Affairs, hands together for Ahmed Nuruddin. Thank you so much for your time with us. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is time now to bring our own sweet mother, the quintessential personality we celebrate in the service, an adorable personality, a sweet, brilliant goal-getter. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, jam your hands together for the head of the civil service of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemieso.
Civil servants arriving late for work and performing poorly cannot help Nigeria's image and level of development. What we do and don't do matters. It is our duty to deliver public services. There may be times when we are asked to do things we know we shouldn't do, but if we fail to fulfill our duties in an ethical manner and with integrity, the public we serve will suffer. It is not just when we neglect to do our work, it is also about the way we do our work. If we work in ways that are outdated and inefficient, it will take a lot more time to do a lot less. We cannot continue working this way. We need to embrace technology and move into the digital future where work is faster and more efficient. We want to live in a country where everyone is treated fairly and receives the same quality public service. So, rather than serving our own interests with greed, we need to put the interests of our people first. So, by embracing a good work ethic and more efficient systems, better technologies, and law-abiding public servants, we can build a more prosperous Nigeria. And by building this Nigeria now, our country will be capable of giving our people a better life in the future.
The Honorable Minister, Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dangiwa, Transformative Permanent Secretaries here this morning, the Director overseeing the Office of the Permanent Secretary, Service Welfare Office, Dr. Comfort Adeosun, other directors here present, the Executive Secretary, Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, Mr. Ibrahim Miriga, the MD, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, the Agura Zuba, the Aguma of Gwagwalada, our developers here present, civil servants, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to especially thank God for today, because even as at last week, we were not sure that today will happen today. But thank God we're all here today. And thank God the houses are all ready today. Before I go to my speech, I want to do an advance apology, because I know that in the course of this last 1 year, I've had to drive people to the extreme. Alhaji Meriga at some time decided to stop coming to my office because he knows that the first question I'll ask anytime I see him, anywhere I see him, is how far have you gone with the Gwagwalada estate? I also want to apologize ahead to the developers, because at times I had to get their contacts and harass them into submission. But it was all for a purpose and for the good of the service. So thank you all for tolerating me. Housing, like we all know, is universally recognized as one of man's most essential needs. And satisfying this need often gets complex with rising population. The Honorable Minister of Housing knows about that very well, and he has talked about it. It's also worth noting that the current house price to income ratio makes it practically unfeasible for civil servants especially to buy houses of their own. To tackle these challenges, therefore, and with the objective of delivering affordable housing for federal civil servants, the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation established the Federal Integrated Staff Housing Program, FISH, as it's popularly known, with the main objective of reducing the cost of housing for civil servants to the barest minimum. To provide the necessary structures and framework to enhance its implementation, the FISH scheme is being driven as one of the key programs of the 6 pillars of the Federal Civil Service Strategy and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025. This priority area of FCIP 25 is devoted to enhancing the value proposition for civil servants regarding their welfare. It will be recalled that while modest efforts were made to effectively drive the FISH program from inception, a number of constraints impeded its rapid implementation. The overarching constraint, among others, was the absence of an implementation framework for the FISH program, including facilitating key infrastructure and funding for the delivery of houses. In an effort to surmount these constraints, about 74 weeks and 1 day ago, precisely on January 19th, 2023, we took decisive steps to overcome the challenges that had impeded the rapid implementation of the FISH program. I won't bore you with details, but thank God the previous Permanent Secretary's Service Welfare Office are here today. It was a tug of war to get this estate going, because the Permanent Secretary's SWO wanted us to go through the route of a PPP arrangement, which entailed going to ICRC, which entailed a lot of resources that the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation didn't have at that time. And so I had to take the land out of FISH and I handed it over to the federal government Housing Loans Board. And the permanent secretary at that time and the director of Fish were not happy with me. But I said that what had to be done for civil servants. So I thank God that we're all here today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are here to witness the commissioning and delivery of a product of determination and teamwork for the comfort and improved lives of some very fortunate civil servants. Even to get the civil servants to subscribe to this estate was another tug of war, because they didn't believe that they could get these houses easily. And so we had to embark on another campaign to ensure that civil servants subscribe to this estate. And when a few of them started visiting the estate, they made it a point of duty to see me, to say, we didn't know that place was so nice, so we didn't know. So congratulations to those that made the effort to come and see the estate and are lucky house owners today. These houses and their keys will be delivered to those fortunate civil servants today. In the course of this event, there will be a symbolic presentation of keys to 4 officers who have been allocated houses in this estate, sited at an expansive land which spans about 5 hectares and is located in a prime area in Gwagwalada. I wish I could be one of the recipients, because the quality of these houses, I'm sure when you see it, the work that was done and the quality is really much more than the price that you are paying for these houses. It's important that I acknowledge that. I wish to state that by the grace of God, the Office of the Head of Service is also determined to use the Gwagwalada Fish Project as a model for subsequent fish estate development, wherein critical infrastructure such as tarred access roads, drainages, potable water supply, and electrical installations, among others, are provided for before the keys are handed over to beneficiary core civil servant. The public service is now getting envious of core public servants. The approach to delivering affordable housing is also in line with the Renewed Hope Cities and Estates program of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, which aims to deliver 100,000 houses nationwide with adequate housing infrastructure to Nigerians. At this juncture, I must not fail to appreciate the collaboration of the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development that provided the land, the Federal Ministry of Works that provided the internal roads and drainages, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation that provided water reticulation to the estate, the Federal Ministry of Power for matching words with action in providing the required power infrastructure to this estate. Please, the permanent secretaries of these 4 ministries, can you please stand up so that everybody can appreciate the good work that you have all done. Thank you very, very much. You will not believe it that the water, the power, the roads. It's not up to a month ago that they all agreed that they will move to site and ensure that all these things are ready before today. Well done, transformative permanent secretaries. I use this opportunity to solicit similar partnerships that will aid the delivery of more attractive and affordable houses. And I also want to acknowledge the Permanent Secretary Environment, who when he came here said he will come in immediately with trees to plant trees in the estate. The call for this collaboration is informed by ongoing plans by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation through the FISH program to deliver another estate of a larger scale in Jiwa FCT, for which land measuring over 8 hectares has been allocated to us, and efforts are in top gear to move to site within the shortest possible time. I therefore urge all prospective off-takers to keep visiting the official FISH website for useful updates on this forthcoming project. Please, the other people who were not able to get houses here, don't miss another very good opportunity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are very well conscious of the challenges in the housing sector, including the high cost of building materials, maybe caused by inflation and other factors. Therefore, I wish to assure all the off-takers of this estate that the initial amount that was put on this estate remains sacrosanct, as there will be no upward review of the cost of the houses. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, an accomplished architect, Jeff Lincoln, once said, and I quote, "The ultimate luxury is being able to relax and enjoy your home." End of quote. This feeling, which I'm sure the beneficiaries of the houses can relate to, will not have been complete without the can-do attitude and dedication demonstrated by some key drivers of this project, who worked assiduously day and night, in the rain and in the sun, to deliver the project in record time. Finally, again, I want to recognize and commend the Executive Secretary of the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, Mr. Ibrahim Meriga, and his dynamic team for working as if they were all on overdrive. There was a day, I think it was on Saturday or after, or one of the public holidays, and I kept getting text messages. I said, "Where are you?" And they all said, "We are on site." So they spent Salah here on site just to ensure that today was a reality. Thank you very much. I also recognize them, also the Federal Staff Loans Board, for processing loan facilities for civil servants, especially those that were able to be a part of this estate in record time. All of them testified to the fact that they were able to access the online forms and they got their loans in record time. Permit me to also commend the consortium of estate developers for delivering this project in record time. This comprises Messrs. Belron Ventures Nigeria Limited, C2 C2Q Property and Investment Limited, Project Development Limited, Solutionist Limited, and Hydraform Limited. I must thank you all again for accepting to partner with us on this project. And I look forward to future partnerships with you and other reputable developers with the hope that collectively and sustaining this model of implementation, we can significantly reduce the country's 28 million housing deficit by catering for our civil and public servants. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a new home signifies a new start, and the soon-to-be homeowners, it is my prayer that these new homes will bring you big dreams and fortunes, and very good fortunes to you. Congratulations to you, and I thank all our invited guests for honoring our invitation today. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you very much, our sweet mother, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please, if you have spoken our voice, I'd like you to jam your hands together one more time for this delivery. Thank you, our sweet mother. Like I said earlier, her voice brings hope, joy, and fulfillment to the service. It's always a pleasure listening to you, ma'am. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think building houses will not be for only civil. We have to also think to build for the permanent secretaries. Yes, we have to build an estate for the permanent secretary. Executive secretary, please look into it. The permanent secretary should have home. Those in favor say aye. The ayes have it, no need to go to us. So thank you very much. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for us to go for the commissioning of the Fish Estate. And this will be led by no other person, by our sweet mother, the Honorable Minister, Transformative Permanent Secretaries who are here, Royal Fathers, and others could please be seated so that we do that snappily and come back now. We will just commission it here and then we get back to continue with other proceedings on our program. Thank you very much. Can this mic reach there? I'll go reach.
Yeah. Okay. Check C.
Estate Agwalada, which was fully funded by the federal government staff.
Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The commissioning has officially been done by the head of service of the Federation. And so we have an estate for fish. Call it the fish estate, you won't be wrong. The appropriate time we will go into it for inspection, and all the beneficiaries will be standing in front of their houses because the house belongs to them and the keys will be handed over to them. As we talk, we will do it. Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please settle down. Settle down so that we can take the next item on the program. Thank you. We sincerely thank you for your time. I'd like to bring the very warm, qualified personality who will have the honors of thanking all of us and, as a matter of fact, celebrating us for our time with him. I'd like to have the honor of bringing to the microphone stand the Executive Secretary of Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, very dynamic, vibrant personality who has earned us this achievement today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please jam your hands together for Ibrahim Meriga to come to give us vote of thanks.
The Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Actor Musa Ahmed Musa Kangiwa, sorry, the head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Dr. Fola Sade Eson, I will beg to stand on existing protocol clearly established by previous speakers. I'm deeply humbled to stand before you today with the immense responsibility of expressing our collective gratitude to all those who have contributed to this momentous occasion. Above all, I wish to personally acknowledge the Almighty God, whose divine intervention has guided us to this pinnacle of success. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as the head of service eloquently stated in her keynote address, the initial hurdles we faced in bringing this project to life were swiftly overcome. But those who are familiar with the head of the service's passion, drive, tenacity, and leadership style will know that she is a bulldozer. In fact, she was the very first bulldozer to visit this project site and clear it and start to pave the way for the accelerated delivery of the houses. She was very modest in giving a synopsis of how we got here. But what is not known to many of us is that she personally visited this site more than once to monitor the level of progress, and she has truly led by example. For this, we are very, very thankful. It is apt that the head of the Civil Service of the Federation has deemed it fit to include this commissioning ceremony as part of this year's Civil Service Week celebrations. For this, we are also grateful. In her speech, she mentioned that a model for executing this project was developed, and this comprised a number of facilitations and facilitators. Yes, it is a model that is worth emulating, and I think to ensure that civil servants or public servants or even the generality of Nigerians have decent, affordable housing and safe housing, I think it is worth emulating where some infrastructure-based MDAs will be required to provide the infrastructure, thereby cutting off the cost of this infrastructure on the eventual prices of the houses. We all rose to the occasion. We want to thank the permanent secretaries, and through them, their honorable ministers, as the head of service had said, the permanent secretaries of power, permanent secretaries of water and sanitation, and permanent secretary of works for their rising to the occasion. We called them, and as Madam has said earlier, we called them barely a month ago, and they are there. We will go in there and you will see their work. We thank you most sincerely, and we are very, very grateful. The developers have indeed performed creditably well. In fact, at one point, it appeared as if they were competing in a tournament. I thank you all immensely for your passion and understanding which you demonstrated during the construction period. And we look forward to greater feats together. To my very resilient and energetic team at the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board, I say a big thank you. I know at some point, every one of us was put on overdrive, as Madam has said earlier, but you all rose up to the occasion. The same goes with Fish Department in the Office of the Head of Service and Service Welfare Office. Finally, I want to thank the event managers, the Master of Ceremony, Jude Maha, all the vendors, the logistics providers, security personnel, the traditional rulers, Your Highness, the Emir of Gwagwalada. We are very sorry for the protocol mix-up. We assure you that it will not happen again, inshallah. On that note, I want to say that the beauty of commissioning ceremonies of housing units such as this is that the homeowners no longer have to host a housewarming ceremony. And so on their behalf, I say a big thank you to all the very distinguished and highly esteemed dignitaries who have graced the occasion. Once again, thank you all for making this event truly memorable, and wish each and every one of us journey mercies back to our various destinations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Executive Secretary. For the first time, I'm getting a thank you for being a master of ceremony. Others don't thank me, although they monetize it, but it's all the same. Thank you. We'd like to sincerely thank every one of us, and particularly once again, as the Master of Ceremony, to take a very big apologies to the Royal Highness Yagumo of Gwagwalada, Alhaji Mohammed Magaji, Chairman Traditional Council of Chiefs, Gwagwalada Area Council, Federal Capital Territory. We apologize for the mix-up. Thank you for your understanding, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly also, before we end it, welcome and recognize, she has been here, but my eye just caught up with her now, the Permanent Secretary's Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs Office, Ibieni Patricia Roberts. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us for this event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if you watch your program, we have inspection of estate, but that will be taken. We'll come up to that after the national anthem. So we'll take the national anthem and then we'll proceed for inspection of estate. And thereafter, maybe the head of service can ask us to go from there, but I won't have that permission to say it now. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I beg your indulgence to be upstanding now as we take the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Amen. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We will now proceed for the inspection of the estate. The beneficiaries will be standing in front of their buildings, and so, but please, the Permanent Secretary's Head of Service, we might just take a group photograph before we call it a day. We beg your indulgence Please, let's remove this and then we can have a group photograph here. Please, all the permanent secretary, the Royal Highnesses, and then the MD Mortgage, Federal Mortgage Bank, please.
No, let them, they will enter.
Yes, some can go behind so that it will accommodate all of us. Some of us can stand behind. It will accommodate all of us. Sorry. Cameramen, please get ready. The MD of Federal Mortgage Bank, can you join this? All the permanent secretaries present, please be part of this. Thank you, cameraman. We'll now proceed for inspection of the estate. Thank you. All the beneficiaries, please stand in front of your own house so that the
Now back to your music.
Woke up early this morning with a smile on my face. Thought you were next to me, but then I see you walking away. Something arrived this morning. Is it a sign he's leaving me?